The alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Nze omumbeja luwedde Lilian mbaniriza maka gaffe amajja era nga wano tugenda okuba nga tukolera programu yaffe emanyiddwa nga The Voltage gaba masannyalaze gennyini era nga twogera ku bintu ebyenjawulo omwo nno mwe muli ebigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga, ensonga z'ebyobufuzi n'obukulembeze bw'eggwanga Uganda, twogera ku nsonga ez'abavubuka, eddembe ly'obuntu awamu n'ebyenkulaakulana. Togisubwa buli lunaku olwokutaano eba ssaawa emu ey'akawungeezi paka ssaawa 3 ez'ekiro.
The Diaspora Link buli lwakuna sawa 11 paka sawa emu ey'olweggulo ye program gye tukuleetedde wano ku Alternative Digitalk Uganda. Tugenda batutunulira embeera z'Abannayuganda baganda baffe bannyinaffe zibawangaaliramu mu mawanga ag'ebunaayira. Bangi banyigirizibwa, bangi bakosebwa, bangi bayisiddwamu amaaso. Naye tugenda batutunulira engeri gye tusobola okulongosaamu embeera zaabwe. Tugenda kuba tulaba abo abakwatibwako abateekeddwa okuba nga balongoosa embeera zino eno. Tosubwa buli lwakuna n'omuweerezaawo Nixon Segawa.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdulatif and I welcome you to the Hotline Show here at the Alternative Digitalk as we discuss issues of national importance. Join us every Monday 7 to 9 p.m. and see who will be occupying these seats here with us. Keep it Digitalk, real issues, real talk.
If you're a Christian and our nation's politics and governance do not concern you, you are doing a disservice to the God you believe in. The Bible in Ephesians chapter 1 verse 23 says, the church you see is not peripheral to the world is peripheral to the church, which means the church is at the center of everything happening within the world, including, if not especially, how God's people are governed. Why then separate church from politics? Church and politics with your host Sylvain Gumisiriza every Sunday 2 to 3 p.m. live on Alternative Uganda Facebook page.
Buli muntu azalibwa n'eddembe lye ery'obwebange. Obadde okimanyi nti kikakatako okuuma eddembe lino. Eddembe lino likuggyibwako litya era ddi? Munnaffe toyitira. Bino n'ebirala birindirire mu programu yaffe Teeka Ki. N'abaweereza abo Nalukwago Emerin Katumba wamu ne Tumusiime Kato buli lwakubiri ku ssaawa 5 ez'okumakya wano ku Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Two minutes past the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this edition of the Mighty Drive Show. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga, and it's a proud honor to have you today as we are celebrating yet another milestone, that is the end of this particular month. Today marks the last day of February. Remember, February has 28 days, so our is up to the 31st. Unfortunately, muwate mugenda kubanga mufunamu, ladies and gentlemen, omwezi guno gutuweddeko mbaniriza nnyo ku mukutu gwammwe Alternative Digitalk omutera okubeera buli lunaku entakira Monday paka Sunday mubeera mutulaba nga mutwegese obwenyi kyamaanyi nnyo era njagala okubeebaza ku lw'emirimu gyammwe gye mukola. Mirimu mirungi era n'emirimu nagyo girabwako. Mbaniriza nnyo olunaku olwaleero kya ssanyu okubanga mutwegaseeko era kirungi nnyo. It's I think 3 minutes past the top of the hour of 7. We are still into, in fact we are into the 4th minute of the hour. Mbaniriza nnyo. How was your weekend? How has been your week? The week has been really fun and a bit intense for some of us. Omwike yaggwa twalaba Vladimir Putin, President w'eggwanga erya Russia ng'akola full force invasion ku ggwanga liri erya Ukraine era byaleetawo ebigambo bingi sanctions zivudde buli wamu okubanga omwami ono batandise okubanga bazimuwa mpola mpola era mu wiiki yennyini eyo ku lunaku olw'omukaaga twalaba President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ng'alaunchinga yet another campaign okubanga ejja bannayuganda mu bwavu eno nno yagituumye the parish development model. Mu parish development model sente bannayuganda zibagenda okubanga bafuna okwekulaakulanya bagenda kubanga bazijja kumiruka oba zigenda kubanga zitandikira kumiruka. Omulika is like a parish era kyobola baziyita zi parish development model. So abavubuka abali eyo sente zammwe weeziri omukolo bagutandiseeko ku lunaku lwabadde lwa mukaaga President Museveni yalonchinze the parish development model. Anno guno omulundi si gwe gusoose nga mukulu Tibwabulwa afuna parish development model akola schemes bwezityo okubanga ayamba bannayuganda ndooza mujjukira bonna bagaggawale ne campaigns ez'enjawulo omukulu ono zabadde akolako paka ssaawa zino tezirina kyamaanyi kyezikyusiza most especially when in the central part of the region wadde abannayuganda bangi abali mu byalo. I was one time in Alur and Agago, a northern part of Uganda nga wakayita Mulira district ne weeyongerako mu ndeeyo nga bannayuganda bangi babadde bafunye abadde baganuddwa mu ssente zino era ne mu western Uganda eyo ogenda mu districts nga Shema, Rubirizi waliyo 100% returns eza zino enteekateeka zebatera okukola. So kikulaga ki nti mu byalo bannayuganda bangi abadde bali organized abeetanidde okufuna ensimbi zino naye paka wano mu central tubadde tetunaba kwetegeka bulungi okubanga tufuna ssente zino. Nja kuba nkyogerako mu maaso kaawo. N'enkumba university ya graduating abaana ku ssettendekero yaabwe era bongedde okubanga bannayuganda bangi abayise mu ngeri eyo okujjako ekibuuzo kye tuweebuuza bannayuganda bangi abagraduatinga naye obagraduatinga kugenda muki ebintu bibasomye biri viable oba tukyali mugiri emirembe gye twabeeramu egyedda era nga tukyali mawulire gennyini embeera z'ensimbi zitandise okubanga zeekanama. The pricing is of commodities on the market, on the domestic market and the international market have continued to rise over the days. Abantu abasinga bakitadde ku the impending crisis or the crisis between Russia and Ukraine nga bagamba oil prices have gone up. 1 barrel of fuel on the international market goes for $105. That means sente zibadde zeeyongedde mu ngulubo. Naye kye twebuuza is how far is the international pricing affecting the domestic prices, because bannayuganda tubalabyeko nga mirundi mingi bitwekwasa international market naye ng'ate wano obuzibu buli ku ffe. Bannayuganda bangi abadde bagamba mbuno there is hoarding of fuel. So wetwogera ku nsonga ezo zonna tujja kuba tuzitunulamu olunaku olwaleero. Njagala kusooka okubajjukizaako omukutu guno gwa Alternative Digitalk. We are an online television nti tuweereza online. Tukola ebyenjawulo ng'ovudde ku shows zino z'olaba omuli Mighty Drive ebeerayo ku buli lunaku lwa Friday, lwa Monday paka Friday okuva ku ssaawa emu ez'okumakya paka ssaawa 3. Tuyina show gye bayita hotline egenda kubeerayo olunaku lwaleero akawungeezi ku ssaawa emu ebeera ya luzungu yennyini omwami Abdulatif atera okuba nga agikwatamu wali wonna naye tujja kuba nga tufuna eyo show ebeerayo ku lunaku lwa bbalaza kuva ku ssaawa emu ez'akawungeezi paka ssaawa 3. Then ku lunaku olwokubiri nga olabye eshe gye bayita teekaaki ey'omwami Tumusiime Kato ebeerayo olunaku lubeera lwa Tuesday kuva ssaawa 5 eza kumakya. Then ku lunaku olwokuna tubeerayo ne show bagiyita the diaspora link ey'omwami ey'omwami Nixon Praise omusumba abeerawo awo mpola mpola ng'akola diaspora link okuva ku ssaawa zibeera 10 mpaka 12 ez'akawungezi. Then olunaku olwa Friday tubeera ne the voltage show y'omukyala Luwedde Lilian ebeerayo kuva ssaawa emu ez'akawungezi paka ssaawa 3. Mu voltage omwo nno tuba twogera ku eggwanga lye balitunula oba the state of politics in the country okujjako ebeera mu lulimi luno olwaffe olunyanyimba Oluganda we tutera okuba nga tubeera mu lunaku olw'omukaaga. Teddy Tenjo returns. In fact, before Teddy Tenjo comes on Saturday, she's always there on a Thursday with the Fancy Flow program. Ebeerayo ku ssaawa 2 n'ekitundu ez'akawungezi paka ssaawa 3. Teddy Tenjo nabukeera the gliss and glamorous girl abeerawo awo okubanga akuwa a bit of fashion mpola mpola mweyo show yennyini. Ku lunaku olw'omukaaga mbadde nkyabagamba Teddy Tenjo returns on the Snap Talk show ebeerayo ku ssaawa 12 paka ssaawa 1 ebeerako Teddy Tenjo nabukeera Farida Bikobere and Luwedde Lilian okubanga bakuweereza mweyo particular show. Then ku Sunday eriiso ly'omukulu era omukyala Lilian Luwedde abeerawo mpolampola okubanga akuweereza. Shows nnyingi ezikyajja era njagala mutuule entende mukkalire mukimanyi guno omwaka 2020 mwaka gwa kukola alternative Digitalk erina okubanga ebaweereza mu buli ngeri yonna esoboka. So mbaniriza nnyo ku mukutu guno okujjako okubajjukiza waliwo obutabo omwami Norbert Tumusiime bwabadde awandiika. Is an author abadde bamumanyi. He is an author omwami Norbert Tumusiime. Norbert Tumusiime is the national coordinator of the Alternative Uganda Social Movement era ye executive director of the Alternative Digitalk abeerawo mpolampola alina ebitabo byawandiika omubeera in-depth knowledge and quick insights of some of his views in the world. Omanyi bannayuganda bangi abatettanira kuwandiika bitabo tetwagala nnyo kubiwandiika, in fact tetwagala kubisoma. How can we write yet we don't want to read? Abantu bangi abavudde mu comfort zone yabwe ne bagamba kabawandiikeko ku bintu ebyo bigenda maaso mu ggwanga. Akatabo akasooka omwami Norbert Tumusiime akawandiika bakayita the unsowing the mustard seed. Ondooza mumanyi mustard seed, bantu bangi abatera okujoogerako mustard seed ayina unsowing the mustard seed. Norbert Tumusiime ayina akatabo bakayita liars and accomplices nako ka mwami Norbert Tumusiime. Kano koko nno kakafuluma sabbiiti ntonoke emabega kaawe era osobola okukasanga ku book markets zonna. Oba okiyitaaga osobola okutwinboxinga ko bakayita liars and accomplices, abalimba n'ababayambako abalimba bennyini. So ayagala okunnyonnyola abalimba ki be tulina mu ggwanga nabaani ababayambyeko. Then akasembayo ke katabo ke bayita the kumanyoko politics. Akatabo ako ko mujja kubanga mukeefunira kali ku mitwalo 5. Twattu obutabo bwonna obwolaba buli ku mitwalo 5 egya Uganda. Oba oyagala kubanga ofuna akatabo feel free okutusindikira message awo ku mukutu the Alternative Uganda. Osobola n'okumunoonyaako omwami Norbert Tumusiime author oba orator yakawandiikaako. Osobola okubanga omunoonyaako ku Facebook, ku Twitter kwali @Norbert Tumusiime. Osobola okubanga omufuna. We kaba kakubuze njagala okuba ennamba eno ey'omwami bamuyita Rogers Tubyahabwe yakola ku distribution y'obutabo obwo. Ennamba eri noti 781 303050 oba 0781 303050. Omwami Rogers Tubyahabwe ajja kuba akakuleetera n'akakudelivaringira in real time. So akeetaaga obutabo obwo busatu feel free. Butabo nno bunyumu era nakasomako bubiri. Nasomyeko unsowing the mustard seed ko nakasoma nenkamala. Mbadde nkyali mu kusoma liars and accomplices. Nja kusembyayo kali ke bayise kumanyoko politics. I hope I'm not sounding bad. It's just the title of the book. So wewe atyo omwami Norbert Tumusiime bw'abagambye. Bannange ebirango katusooke tubikomyawo. Tugendeko mawulire agabadde gatambula mu ggwanga ne wabweru w'eggwanga. Tutandikireko wali wabweru w'eggwanga mu lutalo olwa Russia n'eggwanga lino erya Ukraine. Wiiki ewedde twalaba amagye ga Russia nga gakumba bulungi nga gayingira eggwanga lino erya Ukraine. Gatandikanga gagamba nno gagenda kubanga gali mukola just bakiyita oba drills. I remember there is a statement they used nga bagamba okuinvadinga naye we twogerera kati nga abasajja bano bayingira full force ne beyingira mu ggwanga erya Ukraine. Twogera sigenda kwogera ku namba z'abantu abafudde kubanga bantu bangi badde babuuza bameka abafudde ebintu tukyabikola in modern day. In fact in the rules of war oba mu mateeka g'entalo, in fact tebakimanyi entalo zino zibeera n'amateeka. Mu mateeka g'entalo oluusi is not always about the numbers because twabirabako edda mu lutalo lwa Vietnam mu bitalo ez'enjawulo nga abasajja bano baagala nnyo okubala body count. Body count yabaleeteranga okubanga batta n'abantu abataali necessary like nga because ayagala kubeera ne namba z'abantu wasanga omusajja nga Kato Tumusiime omusajja ali able bodied nga bamutta ng'agamba n'oyo yabadde munnamagye wa Amerika oba yabadde munnamagye wa Vietnam. Ate n'ekirala omunnamagye okufiirwa abantu abangi tekitegeeza nti no gwe oba togenda kukola ki. Okufiirwa abantu bangi tekitegeeza nti ate gwe olutalo oba oluwangudde nnyo no oba oba olufairinze. Vietnam yaluzinga abantu baali bangi naye ate olutalo yamaliriza nekola ki neruwangula. So olutalo lukyagenda mu maaso lunyiikidde. Vladimir Putin sanctions batandise okubanga bazimuteekako oba bongedde okubanga bamuteekako sanctions. Ndowooza Ukraine weefaanana kati abasajja basesebudde ebizimbe ebisinga wali mu ggwanga erya Ukraine. So mu ngeri eyo wetwogerera nga essaawa zino Russia enaate in fact yamala dde okuivadinga era wetwogerera nga omwami Zelensky ono president wa Ukraine yasandise okubanga asaba batandika okuba nga boogerezeganya President Zelensky n'omwami Vladimir Putin amanye kyennyini ki omwami ono Putin kye yeetaaga mu ngeri eyo. So abasinga kyemmanyi bino mubiwuliddeko kubanga olutalo lubadde lunyiinyitira okuva ku sabbiiti ewedde. Waliyo bannansi ba Russia abavuddeyo ne balaga obutali bumativu bwabwe eri President wa Vladimir Putin. Ndoza mulaba akapande ako Stop Mad Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin omulalu mumuyimirizeeko, naye teri muntu alabika nga agenda okuba nga ayimiriza Vladimir Putin. Asobola okuyimiriza Vladimir Putin ye mwami Joe Biden oba president w'eggwanga lino United States. Ate nga Joe Biden ye tayagala kubanga akola kino directly kubanga balina emikago gyabwe agreement zaabwe eziraga tontabaala Russia nange sikutabaala USA because we beetabalirira that means tuba tugenda kulaba sematalo owokusatu. So mu ngeri eyo bye bigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga erya Russia ne Ukraine. Sigenda kwogera ku bantu bafudde kubanga nze ndaba those things are irrelevant, naye nga kyobumanya abantu bangi abafiiridde mu lutalo olwo naddala bannamagye ba Ukraine okutandika ku time we baali bayingira okuwamba bantu bangi abalugulamu obulamu oba bantu bangi abalufiiramu. Abantu abatamanyi nno olutalo tera okubeerawo n'owuliriza abantu nga boogera ku lutalo. Ffe tetwalulabako naye abamu ku ffe tufunye advantage okubanga tulusomyeko. Olutalo si kyekintu kyoyagala okubanga owulya. Waliwo omukyala yayimba oluyimba, in fact bantu bangi abayimbye ennyimba okujja kati abantu abatatera zinyumira ennyimba ziri mu kadongo kamu, naye mu nnyimba ezo ez'akadongo kamu abantu bano banyumyanga emboozi y'entalo ne bakunyumiza ebyaliwo mu gy'ekinaana. Abasajja bano be baayitanga abanyanya abaali so heartless and ruthless nga bakunnyonnyola ebintu ebyali eruweero. Abantu abaali bafleeing nga batuuka nga bawukanga mirambo mpola mpola. So oluusi abatera okwegomba olutalo President Museveni ne wali yabagamba you don't know anything about war. Ate wakikugamba bw'atyo ng'oli mulembe guno omutebi, nze nkukakasa olutalo oba tolina kyolumanyiiko. So tuleme tusabe bisigale ye Russia bisigale eyo birebe kujja wano ewaka because olutalo is an enemy of progress. Kati Ukraine eyo mugiraba egenda kuddamu okwezimba, it's going to take time okujja kuwali amawanga agadifying odds nga mawanga nga Japan mu 45 bamukuba Hiroshima ne Nagasaki. Abantu bangi bafa, ebibuga bafiirwa, DNA zaabwe zoonooneka because batuuka nga bazaala n'abaana nga bali deformed kuba nuclear gye babakuba abasajja bano aba Japan yali ally wa Germany, bamukuba bamusirisa, naye yalaga nti yali musajja wamanyi mu myaka 10 omusajja Japan yali amaze dde okuba nga atuuse wali nga tumulaba ne 1963 ng'akola nga holding the Olympics. Ekikulaga kinti nno bezimba mangu ne kati amawanga nga Ukraine agatalina bulungi resources kati balikubye balimazeewo oluusi olabira ddala kiba si kyamaanyi. Olutalo teruliisa nakabululu. So abalusaba ntera obbawulaba ku mikutu egyo ne mugamba mu Uganda munajja ddi, we have a dictator. Stop your jokes. Wetutyo tutera okubanga tuwogera. Tuveeko kaawo tugendeko mu mawulire amalala. Ndaba eddakiika zino ziri 17 zintwala mangu nnyo. President w'eggwanga lino erya Uganda omukulu Tibwawulira Museveni ku Lwomukaaga luno yaggulawo oluwedde luno yaggulawo bayalonchinga kye bayita parish development model. Now parish development model z'ensimbi ezigenda okuteerwa ku miru oba eziteereddwa ku miruka okubanga ziyamba bannayuganda okwejja mu bwavu. Parish development model efaananya campaign ez'enjawulo President Museveni z'abadde ajja aleeta ng'emyoga n'abagambye zanjawulo nyingi z'abadde akozesa omukulu Tibwawulira okubanga ayamba bannayuganda bejje mu bwavu bonna bagaggawale. Naye zino campaign zonna wetwogera zibadde zikyalemye okubanga za addressing ebizibu bya Uganda. Ensonga esooka y'ensonga y'abadde bazibbanga. We have had a lot of corruption in terms of these things, operation wealth schemes. Bantu bangi ababiddemu emyoga recently bagibiddemu nnyo abantu sente bazeddiza ne weebuuza kiki kye twetaaga. Mu ngeri eyo President Museveni yagambye nti parish development model ejja kuba eyamba okubanga eliminatinga ebyo. Yabadde wali yadde ku mukolo ogondoza mulaba mu video eyo mugenda kugiraba ejja kuba playinga ng'agezaako okubanga aggulawo parish development model. Okujja kuba Uganda bangi abagamba mbu bino ebintu ate abantu abatera obifunamu be bawagizi ba ekibiina ekiri mu buyinza. Ekibiina kino kyekya National Resistance Movement. So bantu bangi abatatera nnyo okukkiriza mu nkola eyo y'abasajja bano aba parish development model ne schemes west President Museveni z'abadde akoze over time. Emyoga baali bacomplaininga wali e Masaka nti emyoga bagigabira mu office za NRM era ba district chairpersons ba NRM be batera okubanga bakwata zino ensimbi kate bannayuganda bagamba ssente za gavumenti ate za buli munnayuganda okubanga yejja mu bwavu ndoza mujjukira wali enansana omukyala Shamim Malende yaliyo kolumu ng'era bamulaga embeera gye bayitamu bamukakasa nti nno ssente zino z'abantu abawagira NRM yokka naye ate nze ndowooza bwe tuba bakulaakulana ng'eggwanga bye bino ebintu bye tulina okuba nga tussa ku bbali tumanye nti nno oluusi omuntu equality oba equity buli omu ave waali buli omu ajje ng'akulaakulana tuleme kubanga ate bano be bawagira NRM be tubatuwa bano abatawagira ate bano tetubaagala oluusi kiba tekikola bulungi magezi so katulinde tulabe parish development model weenagenda bannayuganda bangi abagyesunze era baagala kubanga bafuna ku zino ensimbi bayongere okubanga beekulaakulanya mu ngeri eyo male mabirizi bambi musajja wattu oyo yeeyita omusajja afightingira the rule of law yalwanira okuba amateeka gabe nga gakola omwami male mabirizi yalabiseeko mu kooti awo naye bamuganye okuba nga ava mu kkomera era wetwogerera nga kanso w'e Ssemakadde akyali kubanga akyali mu kubonaabona n'omusango ogwo male mabirizi yaddizibwayo mu kkomera jjukira baamusalira era tetubadde ngenda gamba remand naye te baamusalira dda omwami oyo baamusalira emyezi 18 waba tasobola kubanga abeerayo emyezi 18 mu nkomyo alina okusasula miliyoni 3 ez'obuliwo okubanga ava mu kkomera miliyoni 3 zikyaganye male mabirizi the champion of rule of law ndowooza bannange tumuyimirire naye omwami ono baamukwatira omusango gwa contempt of court ku lw'ebigambo bya Isaac mu kutu gye ejja Twitter ne Facebook oba gino emikutu gye tuyita gimukwanira wala yali ayisaako ebigambo bingi ebyayite biriisa nakabululu mu ngeri eyo so yoyo male mabirizi bwe twogerera nga musajja wattu akyaliyo eri ekitalya akyatambuzaako jail sentence ye emyezi 18 bweddu ng'omwami ali mabega wa mitayimbwa mu ngeri eyo ndowooza tuveeko kaawo njogereko ku omukyala Judith Nakintu twamulagako wano ku show ya Diaspora Link omukyala yali e Saudi Arabia ne bamugjamu ensigo ye mu mankwetu wetwogerera nga badirector ba kampuni eyamutwala wabweru w'eggwanga mu mwaka gwa 2019 kampuni eno bagiyita Nile Treasure Gate badirector 5 bakwatiddwa already era batunulira okubanga bagenda kumala mu nkomi emyaka egiwera 15 wadde tebannaba kubanga baba fully sentencing naye nga jjo we're looking at 15 years in prison ku bintu bye baakola omukyalo ono yatwalibwa mu ggwanga lya Saudi Arabia n'atwalibwa mu ddwaliro erimu okuva we bamutwala mu ddwaliro nti apparently yali paralyzed ekigambo kye baakozesa naye okujja okumugjayo ng'omukyala ensigo yeemu ate kyali mu mubiri gwe era okuva olwo omukyala ono abadde akaabira obwenkanya era ne wano ku mukutu gwaffe ogwa Alternative Digitalk story eyo omwami Nixon Praise yagenda n'agikola bulungi etumanya ki ekyali kigenda mu maaso mu bulamu bw'ono omukyala kyali kya nnaku nnyo okubanga bamugjamu ensigo era omukyala ono twogera nga ensigo ayineemu yokka mu ngeri eyo oluusi biba bikukwasa ennaku singa wali omulaba omukyala eno engeri gyayogeramu kirina engeri gye kyamu affectinga generally ekizibu kino ekyokutwala ensigo ina at least justice egenda kubeera ng'eri served because by director ba kampuni eno eyamutwala wabweru w'eggwanga already baakwatibwa era batunuulidde emyaka 15 nga bali mabega wa mitayimbwa ye Hudu Hussein gwe bagamba mbu yaguddeko olutalo eri Katonda ye agamba nedda tasobola kugulako Katonda lutalo wadde abantu ba street pastors babawo ennaku 3 okubanga bava ku street z'e Kampala bano ababuulira enjiri bambi oluusi nabo babeeramu kale yes it's good to preach the gospel but sometimes you can preach the gospel wherever you are twafuna emikutu gino ne mu makanisa tugendayo ndowooza street yo tusooke tugireke because oluusi n'enjiri gituwulira ku street teri agenda tuulaawo giwuliriza buli omu aba ayitawo streets buli omu aba atambula bibye so babawadde ennaku 3 babe nga baamuka street z'e Kampala bwe tebakikoze tujja kutandika okulaba abantu ba Katonda nga bakwatibwa mu ngeri eyo. So ndowooza ge amawulire gokka ge tutubadde tukyalina mangi ge tubadde tulina okwogerako. Joe Biden sanctions yawadde Russia sizoogeddeko, NATO etunuddewa mu lutalo lwa Russia ne Ukraine. Omanyi no topic ate yeebeera mpanvu nnyo ate akadde tubeera na katono. Eddakiika zino ziri 24 zezaakayita ku ssaawa emu. Producer wange angamba akadde k'amawulire keeko. So tugenda kuba nga tuwumulamu we tukomawo tulina omwami Maseruka Sadati okuva mu kibiina kiri ekya Alliance for National Transformation, then tulina n'omwami Morgans mu Germany okuva mu kibiina kiri ekya National Unity Platform. Olunaku lwa leero tugenda kuba nga twogera ku the state of the political, economic and security of the country. Kiri kitya Norbert Mao ayongedde okuba nga akasukira aba NUP ebigambo oluusi byebigambo bitaliisa nakabululu. Kitegeeza ki eri neggwanga n'ebyebbeeyi engeri n'ebintu bye tukozesa okuba nga byeyongedde ebbeeyi. Kitegeeza ki eri ggwe nange olunaku olwaleero. Katuwumulemu katono we tukomawo. Mighty Drive ekyeyongerayo.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Buli muntu azalibwa n'eddembe lye ery'obwebange. Obadde okimanyi nti kikakatako okuuma eddembe lino. Eddembe lino likuggyibwako litya era ddi? Munnaffe toyitira. Bino n'ebirala birindirire mu programu yaffe Teeka ki. N'abaweereza abo Nalukwago Emerin Katumba wamu ne Tumusiime Kato. Buli Lwakubiri ku ssaawa 5 ez'okumakya wano ku Alternative Digitalk.
If you're a Christian and our nation's politics and governance do not concern you, you are doing a disservice to the God you believe in. The Bible in Ephesians chapter 1 verse 23 says, the church you see is not peripheral to the world is peripheral to the church, which means the church is at the center of everything happening within the world, including, if not especially, how God's people are governed. Why then separate church from politics? Church and politics with your host Sylvain Gumisiriza every Sunday, 2 to 3 p.m. live on Alternative Uganda Facebook page.
Nze omumbejja luwedde Lilian mbaniriza maka gaffe amajja era nga wano tugenda okuba nga tukolera programu yaffe emanyiddwa nga The Voltage gaba masanyalaze gennyini era nga twogera ku bintu ebyenjawulo omonno mwe muli ebigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga, ensonga z'ebyobufuzi n'obukulembeze bw'eggwanga Uganda, twogera ku nsonga ez'abavubuka, eddembe ly'obuntu awamu n'ebyenkulaakulana. Togisubwa buli lunaku olwokutaano eba ssaawa emu ey'akawungeezi paka ssaawa 3 ez'ekiro.
The Diaspora Link buli Lwakuna ssaawa 11 paka ssaawa emu ey'olweggulo ye program gye tukuleetedde wano ku Alternative Digitalk Uganda. Tugenda batutunulira embeera z'Abannayuganda baganda baffe bannyinaffe zibawangaaliramu mu mawanga ag'ebunaayira. Bangi banyigirizibwa, bangi bakosebwa, bangi bayisiddwamu amaaso. Naye tugenda batutunulira engeri gye tusobola okulongosaamu embeera zaabwe. Tugenda kuba tulaba abo abakwatibwako abateekeddwa okuba nga balongoosa embeera zino eno. Tosubwa buli Lwakuna n'omuweerezaawo Nixon Segawa.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdulatif and I welcome you to the Hotline Show here at the Alternative Digitalk as we discuss issues of national importance. Join us every Monday 7 to 9 p.m. and see who will be occupying these seats here with us. Keep it Digitalk, real issues, real talk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
We are live 30 minutes into the first hour of the show. You're watching the Mighty Drive Show and my name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga. I'm your servant today. I can say I'm your captain in the cockpit. So I'm taking you up to 9 a.m. cruising you on a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Yes, but that is just a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for keeping it the Mighty Drive. My name is Edgar and I've been joined by two gentlemen. I was supposed to have Morgan's Mujamali, but he's not feeling okay. So I had to get a lawyer and a political analyst, Mr. Kato Tumusiime. Kato, you're welcome to the drive.
Thank you so much, Edgar, and the viewers out there.
Okay.
Good morning.
I also have Mr. Maseruka Sadati, who is from the Alliance for National Transformation. How are you, Mr. Maseruka?
Yes, I'm fine, and good morning, viewers.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm glad that I'm here today. So looking forward to discuss the current political trends.
Yeah, the current political trends are fun and fascinating. Na ye njagala soke mbabuze gentlemen. Wiki amwede ebadde ya. What was your highlight? Chichi ekikoze chekitakoze just bana Uganda okumanya nyina tandika nawe Mr. Tumusiime. Wiki ebadde ya wedde.
Thank you so much, Edgar. On my side, wiki tebadde mbi nnyo. Kujja konti, some things are just continuing the same way they have been. So tufunyemu a lot of changes. Generally kugamba nga the security reasons we have at least improved a little bit. Tetukyali bubi nnyo and ne human rights violations zisseeko wansi mweno week unlike the previous weeks. Nene ekirala ekyasinze okunkolera however much we could give it a doubt. Though I don't expect a lot of successes from it, PDM, Parish Development Model. And I wonder why we keep on, actually the government, I'm not part of the policymakers, why we keep on bringing the same ideas, using the same methods and expect different outcomes.
One will say we have a Myoga, one will say we have a Sigo, one will say
we have Nabagagaware, his livelihood program. We're using the same tactics.
We're changing the
almost spearheaded by the same people, the same faces. What changes is the name from a Myoga now to Nabagagaware. Now we are on a parish development medal and we expect different results.
But one would say the PDM is different because they have brought the resources to the nearest point of the human being.
Which nearest point?
It is the parish of Muruka.
What was not aimed at? Sente bazitusanga ku muntu sekinomu.
Nete zatuukanga.
Anti checho kati. Do you expect a change on this? Who was heading the same programs? Those are the same faces. We just change names and we want to smear and make them look shining. And then we expect the same reasons. But otherwise the week has not been a bad week and we expect to keep on moving on and having things improve day in, day out.
Okay, we'll be talking about the PDM sooner, very soon in the next hour of the show.
All right,
Mr. Maseruka,
yes.
What was your highlight of this week?
In my week, I also was perplexed by the launch of the parish development model. Nayenga also the events that are happening internationally about the Russia-Ukraine, where you find that an aggression on a sovereign state by any other state and there is nothing done will be dangerous, especially to African states. If anyone that seems to be stronger than the other can at any time feel that they will come and overrun and cause mayhem in other countries, if it is not curbed, we may have a very huge global problem, especially here where the laws are very loose. Now, also what is going on amongst the comrades in opposition is actually very, very worrying and worth a discussion. But the most critical that I find that has not made it in the headlines is the increase in the prices of our basic commodities. And despite the fact that the economies are fully open and a lot of launches are happening, especially the parish mode and others, there is no intervention or outcry about the increase in prices for the basic things that we individuals and we use. So to me, it is an issue that I believe that should have a discussion.
Okay, but maybe before we talk about that, you talked about the crisis, and one would say okay, Russia is a sovereign state and Ukraine is a sovereign state, and you know, but where is the United Nations? Where is the European Union in all this? Are the sanctions enough? And okay, even if they are not enough, what can they even do?
The sanctions are not enough to start there, but in any event, there is nothing more to do other than doing sanctions. Because if a state that is illegally occupying or forcefully occupying the other, and you want to bring an armed aggression against it, you will be justifying why they are fighting. Two, you will find that this has been continuously happening, especially on what we call the African states, where the NATO and the UN and other international forces have intervened to try to change governments, especially in states they refer to be dictatorial. In this, it has also created a fallacy amongst oppositions in these countries, especially in Africa, that believe that the UN and NATO and others will come and help them to change their own political systems. So they do not have the audacity, they do not have the authority, they do not have the moral authority to tell Russia or any other loose coalition of international forces to occupy any other state if they believe or they think that there is there is a threat to them or a violation of democratic values. But what we are supposed to enforce as individuals, these organizations were based on a form on a superpower mentality.
Yes.
Now, if the superpowers are themselves in conflict, what will be the solution from us that are not superpowers? For instance, the UN you are talking about, if it says that Russia should not or should stop its aggression, Russia is a member of UN and it can veto any decision of the UN. So there must be a change in the social order. Who qualifies to have nuclear weapons? For instance, Russia can have, America can have, Britain can have, Uganda cannot have.
But maybe Edgar, talk about that briefly. I don't know why I feel the Russia-Ukraine war is more personalized than, you know, a state against another state. It has some sense. Putin, exactly, he has his own interest in Kiev itself.
And they have a history.
And their history has kept on moving on here and there. And maybe talk about the UN's intervention. Yes, you know, there is a country called Western Sahara, if you know that country. That country, we are in the 21st century, right? Since 1976, that country has been colonized by Morocco up to now. And UN has done nothing. And now you expect UN now to intervene in the big wigs.
But do they even have the strength to do that? That is the question. Because today I told Gerambo, UN, NATO,
exactly, that's what I'm talking about. If UN cannot come out directly and openly to condemn the Morocco's continued takeover of a small country like Western Sahara, what do you expect it to talk about? A country like more aggressive with its leader, with all his capacity and capabilities and experience, stubbornness of the person of Putin. So I feel UN will just remain to make statements, condemn here and there, make reports, and nothing else will come out from it.
I partially disagree with him saying that the invasion of Ukraine is personal to Putin.
To the Russians.
To the Russians. To the Russians,
yes.
Headed by Putin.
It is personal.
To the interests of Russia, I will agree that we have allowed, we as subordinate states to the superpowers, to ally ourselves amongst these powers. If, for instance, you will follow that after colonization, very many regimes have fallen because they do not ally with certain superpowers. In this situation, Russia has done what others fear to do. It has come out openly. But others foment opposition so that they make life difficult for any sovereign state to have a leadership that is not theirs. In this situation, Russia yesazeewo eveeyo mu lwatu
Enami ensonyi.
Naye abalala bakikola.
Naye nga tebakikola
direct. Era Russia kyekola abalala ulira kyebakola. Ensonga lwaki kugambye nti bano tebalina moral authority kugamba ku Russia.
Kubanga nabo bakimanyi
bakikola directly. Ate naffe I'm trying to compare Ukraine to a state like Uganda. Tinaffe tugezaako nnyo tubanga twagala obuyinza oba twagala okuleeta change okwalayinga n'abantu oba ne states zino. Leero ati ne tuziwa authority okuinterveninga into our internal affairs. Ekyokulabirako Russia akugamba nti okusinzira ku ndagaano gye twakola
ne US
next states ezitwetolodde ezali part of the Soviet Union gye bayita the Minsk agreement tezirina zibere independent ne tezirina kusembeza abalabe ba Russia ati abalabe ba Russia bebaani era neba stating ati ene state ensi yonna nga US ereta military facilities near omwezi ensi mulabi waffe ebeera red line.
But even the United States has the same policy.
Has the same policy. But what I was
reading with me nti kati tukanya nti ne US etosola genda Cuba, tosola genda Venezuela, tosola genda mu nsi ezetolodda nokola kyako nokola boche bagalo kola ki
sibagalo
mu nsonga ero nti interests eza Russia supersede interests eza Ukraine nga sovereign state yalemwa okutegeera nti what are our interests kubanga bwogamba nti eyagala kuyingira NATO, is it in the interest of the people of Ukraine?
And from 1992
I read some article Russians and in this case Putin ingagamba UN and other sovereign states abaliawo the superpowers of this time ambu bava kundagano je bakola because it was saying that they had agreed that Russia should extend its territories to the east. Focusing so their strength should be in the east. But at the end of it all, it seems that's what they were trying to say, and they were saying this is the right time to come up and show. Nabo basajja tebajja sirika babanyigire mutoke.
Oyenne go bayita Vladimir Putin. Onakola litaka kubanga twogera nnyo ku nsonga eyo, ensonga esinzo okutuleta mu ly'olunaku olwaliro y'omwami Norbert Mao. Norbert Mao ye President General w'ekibiina ekya Democratic Party DP era ye mwami abadde avuddeyo emapegaka okubanga alaga obutali bumativu bwe eri engeri ebintu gye bitambulamu wano mu ggwanga ddala mu political parties ez'enjawulo. Lashingidde buli kibiina kya byabufuzi kye tulina kutandikira ku kibiina kya National Unity Platform yagambye mbuno kikyayina bingi bibulamu n'engeri gye beeyisaamu ng'abantu si yakitiibwa era beetaaga kubanga bakangavula. Norbert Mao tiyakoma ku kibiina kino ekya NUP azze ne ku kibiina ekya opposition kino ekya FDC Forum for Democratic Change n'ayogera ku eyali president waabwe omwami Richard Kanokiza Besigye ng'ajweteka oba kujweteka oluusi ayinza okuba ayogera mazima nti yali ayagala kulaba president Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni. Norbert Mao ayogedde ebintu bingi era agamba it's time abantu bazuukuke tutandika okuba nga tulwanya political systems eziri wano maaso mu ggwanga tewali wano bagamba mbu tebagambwako. Ekibiina kya NUP I want to agree with Norbert Mao nti kyo tekigambwako kyogerako wano n'oyogera ku weaknesses zaabwe abantu abatera okuva ku mukutu ogwo gwennyini gwe tuliko guno ogwa Facebook n'emikutu emirala gimukwana Twitter abayinza okuba nga tebafulumya bigambo birungi. Kino kitegeeza ki? Is Norbert Mao actually right in the first place, and maybe how can we better this particular situation? Yatandika n'omwami okuva mu kibiina kya Alliance for National Transformation gwe abatandikako emboozi eno yennyini. What do you make of President General Norbert Mao ebigambo byakozesa ne point gyali mu putting across? Bantu bangi bamutunuulidde mu ngeri y'enjawulo abamu bagamba maybe he's right, abalala bagamba Norbert Mao oli mu kukisuusa. Maseruka olowooza ki?
Nze ndowooza point Norbert Mao gyali mu passing across tulina okupikinga. Tetugenda kuzimba oba kukola opposition oba okutwala government nga in amongst ourselves naffe twetaddemu kye tuyita dictatorship. Wabanga aina issues aina eddembe okwogerako any political party because day in day out twogerako the ruling government. Era yadde some claim nti ya losing akalulu naye yafuna obuwagizi. so that means ina abawagezi naye ogyogirako tofuna attacks, tofuna cyber attacks, tofuna social media attacks ngazi ofuna nga oyogedde ku a political party in opposition. Ekyo kirina okubeera checked. Tosobola kugamba nti olw'okuba nti twagala okutwala obuyinza buli anaatwogerako oba buli anaagezaako tukuba mu ttooki ajja kubanga ye tulina kumutwala bubi nnyo. Kati olaba osobola kwogera bwogezi oli wanaavaayo nga muli na gavumenti ne mugaa nti tugenda kukola system bweti ne bweto linaavaayo n'agiwakanya. So Norbert Mao point gyagezaako kuputinga across eri very fundamental. Tulina okwechekinga the way we operate nenge je tukwataganamu nga aba opposition. N'ekirala nali wano ku sheno ne mbagamba nti opposition unity tujogerako ne it is what we call a fallacy. Nti kintu kirungi kinyuma okwogera.
Oba kweyagaliza.
Kweyagaliza tekisoboka mu situation je tulimu. Olw'ensonga nti
Maseruka lwaki tekisoboka?
Noonya footage nali wano gwe nakola. Nakugamba nti newankubadde nti tulina okuba tulina agenda yemu okujjako omuntu omu oba gavumenti eri ku essaawa eyo. Naye naffe tulina selfish interests zaffe ng'aba-NT. Titwagala tutwale gavumenti tugimanaginge nga okusinziira ku principles za NT.
But it has failed. I'm going to use the word failed.
What has failed? What has failed? To unite?
Taking power, uniting. Also,
yes, because we work towards a unity that is a fallacy. Political party running systems, running activities, running projects the way according to their ideologies. Aswenga amanyi mu opposition oba ali dominant oba bayinze abantu gwe babayinze taking power then ensonga lwaki twerumaluma nti tugenda ne twagala fena tule mu room emu then ate igoziza fene zivaayo kyekyo Norbert Mao kyakugamba nti inze banvuma banteekako ebijweteke oba banjogerera bye batalinaako mutwe n'amagulu olw'ensonga nti babelieving ati na space yabwe yenjagala okucupayinga naye bafiringa comfortable nti balwaninga byabwe tuli mu relay oba tuli ku race anasookayo ya joke implementing a policies ze kijja keneza ne kuzina entalo nga tukkiriza nti tetugenda kwegatta kono nono tugenda kutambula ngaffe naye bwe tunaabeera awo ne tugamba nti tulina okwegatta buli kibiina ekyegasi ku kinne waakyo kifiirwa ba member bw'obuga nti kati twegatte kwono ye askiminga kutwala ba member butaskiminga kuzimba okutambulira wamu. Yes.
Maseruka buli mbadde manyi fenna we all have a common goal and the question is where are Ugandans in this?
Yes.
Where is me?
Yes,
Uganda. There's something that Ugandans have failed to realize. We are the main stakeholders in your so-called political parties.
Yes.
Your political parties are public entities.
Yes.
That are supposed to be, monitored by Ugandans. Sometimes we even fund your operations.
Yes.
But why is it that you have your own ideologies? Where is the Ugandan ideology? In the past elections, Ugandans have been united. I can assuredly tell you about that. We have been united from scratch. In 2016, we are united. We are requesting banna mwegate ne mugana mubiri abiri muweveze tulabye omwana omutwe tukama kati Kyagulanyi who has the numbers, who has the charisma, who is the bagamba what the chick on the block buli omu gwayagala kati bwetufuna chick on ali on the block ne tugattako retired Kano Dr. Kiza Besigye. What force would that look like? We failed to get that force still from a national unity platform that is very young, a political party like that. Sadati fe bana Uganda mutulesewa.
Yes. Ogenze no gamba nti these are public entities.
Yes.
People that register political parties evanga vehicle eri organized okuyamba banna Uganda oba abantu okutambuza ebyobufuzi byabwe.
Thank you.
Era banna Uganda abo bajoininga organization okusinzira ku bigendererwa byayo era bajja givaako ng'evudde ku bigendererwa ebyo oba ku mulamu kakati bw'ogamba nti ffe bannauganda twegasse nammwe ebibiina mwegatta ebibiina bina bamemba baayo abagaa nti bwe mwegatta tuba tutuluzinze one identity tutuluzinze ideology yaffe kakati gwe boyogerako bebo betwita ba supporters nti bajja ku supporting anything as long as it is change seeking ne member wa party era ezo discussions ziberayo nnyo mu national legislators conferences nti twakola political party eno nga netuleka weri netuleka weno netujoining eno olw'ensonga zino ba members b'ekibiina ekyo wakola business yammwe ba members b'ekibiina oyinza ogiyita business kuba nabo bana Uganda yes nabo bana Uganda ne baba batano ne bakola nabo bana Uganda bwogamba nti bana Uganda begasse ne ba minority abayina endowooza ey'enjawulo no bana Uganda era bademoga nti ffe aba PPP tukkiriza bwe tuti era ensonga lwaki twalekawo ebibiina byonna ebyaliwo ne tukufuminga ki this political party tutugenda kutugamba nti we can lose this what we think that can take Uganda forward to joining ekiba kiriwo because abasinga kiba baagala ebintu ebisinga ebirese okuba nti tulemedwa n'okwachivinga change kwe kulema okustickinga ku biki okuba n'omugongo okustickinga ku biki bitwagala okukolera eggwanga as ANT our ideologies are very clear and whoever wants to cooperate with us there are these the things that you must adhere to just tugamba nti olwokuba nti nfunye ba member bana Uganda basinga obungi bampagira chotanaba ku verifying empirically with the data evidence no namwe forcefully mukolechi chovola Norbert Mao akugamba nti nobody can coerce me either through social media or in any other form okusupporting ekintu ba member bange kibatakiriza because he's a spokesperson of DP, he's the first spokesperson of DP. So kyonna kyayogera era ayogera entity sina uli member wa DP vaku abali aba DP they are different walo member wa DP ne eyali wa DP abavayo ni bagamba nti Norbert Mao osuse we wandikomye naye era nandiki awempakaniza ne Mao we wano nti yadde tubane disagreements ngawe mu supporting the needs frustrations naye tetuzi kubawo nnyo in the public forum.
Now let me tell you because I want to bring in Kato but I want first because now you are a main stakeholder in this debate.
Yes, exactly.
That's why I want you to
party.
Mukama wange ichuchemugerako it might be a very good but olimukokera ku Norbert Mao ayogera grievances ezigenda kyayogera reality okitegeera reality nti waliwo enjawukana ate waliwo n'enjogera y'abantu abamu abayina style yaabwe engeri gye bafulumyamu ebigambo naye kyendowooza gwolowooza is that the solution like what is the solution because we're just now he's doing the same thing as the other people.
That is where I was going. I agree and I share with his frustrations. Now the mechanism he has used to put across his point ne forum jakozesa at the moment ye detrimental to the opposition. Nti obanga oli member obanga okulira political party you cannot in any way rise up and start a social media storm over issues because asolo kwate simu oba nasekinga meeting ne ba leaders ba political party.
He has done that before.
He has done that
before, but it looks like he's saying, Norbert Mao is saying, okay, you think you roll in the mud, I can also roll in the mud.
Which is wrong. And he's different from those that are rolling in the mud because for him, he leads a political party. And whatever he says, has an impact on the opposition and on that political party. Yensonga lwaki omuntu omulala na mu DP below him would have taken over that role. It would have been okay. Naye leader of political party ngabo government I saw yasaba okumeetinga ba leaders be organization ne ba mu audience ne batamu oba ne batagama ku ba supporters baabwe ku nsonga eyo. Ekyo tekikutegeeza nti room for dialogue weddeyo. Tekitegeeza nti ate naawe ogambe nti kati nange let us lose it all fena katuwekube tuddeyo ku zero because opposition this movement of opposition is built over time. kakati gwe oyagala ne hope entono ekyaliwo naye ogifate bwe ganti olaba nabo bali mu kwekuba olaba nabo bali mu kwemenyamya kakata tefe.
But it is the reality.
The reality is
actually I'm going to bring you after the break because now I want you to bring another discussion. Let me first continue with Sadati because Njagala Sadati is okay. I want to really I want you to also look at the quality of debate. The quality of our politics. Is it still the politics we wanted?
And the issue is Norbert Mao is trying to talk about on every single post he makes.
Is the quality.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Because we never legislators.
Yes.
Parliament, they cannot even make a statement. The only statement they have, we're not having ideas. We're having reactions.
Exactly.
We are having emotions. We are having emotions. I don't know if the problem is with them, the legislators, or you, the political parties.
Political parties that fueled them.
Or us, because it looks like Ugandans also like to enjoy when people are sensational.
I have got a new question.
That's why when Daily Monitor brings that headline, now this is a good headline. We like sensationalizing things. Not so Maseruka.
Yes, because you have Ogambi, the leaders are not that of substance as in the past. Now, there is the Latin word, the Latin saying that the vox populi vox dei, the voice of the
people, the voice of God.
The people chose those people. So you cannot in any way say that Memorial they are not worth it because they are a reflection of you. They are a reflection of us. Whereas they may not be the total reflection of us. They are different. It may be a reflection of the people, but not the total reflection of all of us. Of all of us.
Generalize all of us. But you voted someone else, I voted someone else.
But those that emerge are the people that we are worth it to have at the moment because people.
So those ones are the cream de la cream.
They are not. No. I clearly stated that there's a difference between the choice of the people and the total choice of all the people. So all the people did not choose those legislators, but the majority chose, and they emerged as the winners. So I cannot comment about them, but it takes me back to my political party as ANT. When we are forming ANT, we realize that there is a problem of low quality debate and there is a problem of knowledge base amongst the leaders, mentorship amongst the leaders. We emphasized so much on training and equipping the leaders before even sending them to start campaigning. Most of the Ugandans took it as wastage of time. But it is critical ntogenda kulonda legislator yinga luuza birala nga yetaaga emyaka ebiri oba esatu asooka ategere legislative agenda eya political party ye oba biki byalina okwogera mu parliament oba mu local councils. In this we wanted to save time. Nti omuntu atuuka okusavinga abantu from day one ng'amanyi ekyokukola ng'ali sharp ng'era tabuzaabuzibwa. Now you are bringing it back to the leaders or to the political parties. Nkugambye, I for one, our political party, realize that there is that problem and it is going to be persistent if political parties do not see that there is a need to train, to equip and to educate its leaders first before even teaching the masses of what they are supposed to do. The leaders are critical in the struggle and they must be knowing what they are doing. Tekitegeeza nti buli alina 18 years and above, buli alina level of basic education asobola okubanga ategera issues eziri national, regional ne international. So leadership nayo balina okubanga bakugrooming nga bakutraining nga bakutegeeza kiki kyolina okubanga okola ki. Yes, good enough the Alliance for National Transformation was in the elections. People chose otherwise. That's why I said Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
And people didn't choose the party with the best ideas apparently. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Thank you so much for keeping it the Mighty Drive. Tugenda kubanga tuwumulamu katono bwe tukomawo omwami Tumusiime Kato ndaba wandika ebitabo bingi yatadde mu katabaako. I want to give him some time so that he can elaborate on what he actually thinks about the political bickerings that are happening between the different political players. We have the Democratic Party headed by Mr. Norbert Mao, who is speaking, who is lashing out to different people. And then we have an NUP that has become that kid that toina kumugamba kuomugambako oba ogenze. What is next for our politics? Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. But I move now because we're talking about at debate again. And later on in the show, we shall be talking about the economics. Ruachi, sabuni, buto, toilet paper, bichibyo na abini yebe. I was buying water yesterday. I gave it a nokatigari kurusavu. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go for a break. When we come back, the Mighty Drive continues.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Hey Ugandans, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Dewa Kiki, the Deputy Defense Spokesperson and actually the Deputy Spokesperson for the Uganda People's Defense Forces. I was hosted on Alternative Digitalk. I encourage all Ugandans that this is the way to go. Always watch, participate, give your views and ask questions on Alternative Digitalk. Digitalk, the way to go.
Buli muntu azaliwa n'eddembe lye ery'obwebange. Obadde okimanyi nkikakatako okuuma eddembe lino. Eddembe lino likuggyibwako litya era ddi? Munnaffe toyitira. Bino n'ebirala birindirire mu programu yaffe Teeka ki. N'abaweereza abo Nalukwago Emerin Katumba wamu ne Tumusiime Kato buli Lwakubiri ku ssaawa 5 ez'okumakya wano ku Alternative Digitalk.
If you're a Christian and our nation's politics and governance do not concern you, you are doing a disservice to the God you believe in. The Bible in Ephesians chapter 1 verse 23 says, "The church you see is not peripheral to the world. The world is peripheral to the church," which means the church is at the center of everything happening within the world, including, if not especially, how God's people are governed. Why then separate church from politics? Church and politics with your host Sylvain Gumisiriza every Sunday, 2 to 3 p.m. live on Alternative Uganda Facebook page.
How you beautiful Ugandans, it's your girl Sadati. Welcome to the fancy floor. Who doesn't see my hair, guys? I am super glamorous. Remember, this is the only show where we're going to be talking about fashion.
Please, where are you think? Teaching.
What has been confusing you about fashion? Sorry, you said I should not smile. For all the information about fashion, maintenance of body shape.
I can wear bling bling when I'm going out. So you can wear bling bling going out or any occasion.
We shall be doing all this in the fancy floor. Remember, it airs every Thursday right from 8:30 to 9 with your girl Sadati. It is the fancy floor.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. It is 3 minutes past the top of the hour of 8. We're into the second hour of the show. My name is Edgar Matthew Karanga. I told you in the morning I'm your captain of the day. I'll be taking you up to 9 a.m. Keep sending in those messages. I'll be reading them. And we are still having Mr. Maseruka Sadati from the Alliance for National Transformation and Mr. Kato Tumusiime who is a political analyst and a lawyer at that. We're talking about the different political bickerings happening in different political parties. Norbert Mao, the President General of the Democratic Party, against Songas in Agamba, Inoku Okuzanja, as the opposition, who are the leaders of opposition now. NUP, what is your plan? What next? What should we do? What is your agenda looking like? A question that has started to bring up many different things. And he talks about the quality of debate, many things in that particular war, we it over feud between Democratic Party and the rest of the political parties. So, we discussion. Feel free to send in a message about so tukubira kesimu numbers jakuwa zili flash on the screen. Teddy Tenjo namukera jakuwa zibatera ko mutukubire ko kusimo tubuli ekikyolowooza oba osobola okusindika wali message ku mukutu gwaffe ogwa The Alternative Uganda ye page out Facebook tujja kubanga era tweyongera okubanga tusoma message zamwe maaso kawo. So mbadde wetugendedde mu break. Kato Tumusiime, you are coming in next.
Yes.
Kato, what do you make of what is happening in the political parties? Kwakati kwechenkumanyiko, at least on a personal level, you are not in the political parties. Totally political parties. And I can family say this gentleman is neutral, but he's not very good with the people of the national platform. Talk about NUP, sir.
Thank you much. Thank you so much, Mr. Edik.
Yes, sir.
I will not say I'm not against the NUP.
But you're not.
I will not say that.
NUP is not your favorite as well.
It is not my favorite for my own reasons. But now, before we go that further,
yes, sir.
I want to talk about the bickerings in these political parties and what has caused us to reach this far.
Yes, sir.
Entalo kati zilinga zitali wakati w'ekibiina kino ne kino. It's like coming too personal. And for a number of reasons. To start with, yes, the problem we are facing as a country now, and the opposition as a whole, is we have moved from the organized political debates and now on one way or the other buli omu ayagala kujjayo ayogera amazima what they feel this is the right thing and which is very okay by the way in the political spectrum. You should always accept that the moment you come up to join politics you have put yourself in this streamlight. Everybody amaso gonna bagateeka kugwa. And when everybody is looking at you, they will start criticizing you. They will talk about your mother, your father, your grandfather, and what they did, whether good or bad. Which these people sagala kubera konyo chebatagala kumanya, and they have failed to accept reality. Ntaro za Norbert Mao and the NUP people is basing on realities. Norbert Mao comes up and puts his point with his evidence. But the problem with NUP, they don't want to, hide that pride, swallow it and take in the reality so that they can look on the solutions on how to deal away with it. Because when somebody talks about a point, and if he's talking about, for example, how the NUP party was registered, if you feel he's bringing up false news, if you think he's bringing out something that is false and not true, why can't you bring in the right thing and also prove it? Show it to the public, and the public can judge. Political parties.
Just to add on that, counter-reacting, I was watching one forum where we had the spokesperson of the National Unity Platform and Mr. Norbert Mao.
Exactly.
And Norbert Mao brought in a pertinent issue. And he was talking about these things. But I looked at the response of the spokesperson.
They're trying to divert. They don't want to face it
now
and
look at
accept
the person
of Norbert Mao.
Why don't you look at the views and the points that Mao is putting across? Why are you looking at Mao the person?
No, Mao as a person.
Counter-react to the thing. Now he said Mao is mad.
Yes, that's the problem we have.
Debate here.
That's the problem we have with those people of the NUP. They don't want to swallow their pride. They feel they want to overtake and overshadow every other opposition political party with their contribution. And we all know that different political party leaders in the opposition have played their role, that even this NUP, just 1 year old or two, has not reached even 20% of what the contributions have been. And when you talk about that, you will see them come and abuse. I don't know why. Who taught them how to abuse and not to actually tackle the issues as they are? Secondly, I was talking about political opposition parties and their leaders have tried to personalize politics, opposition.
Personalizing
politics in the way that buli ajja, if they come and they are now strong, they want to overshadow the rest of the people. Tebagala balabawo. However much they have been in the struggle for so many years. I will give an example of Kyagulanyi, Robert, Sentam Honorable, as the party president now. When he came, and his supporters and maybe sympathizers, I should call them, they don't want to acknowledge the participation and the involvement, the contribution of other political parties. Talk about the Norbert Mao of this country. The experience of Norbert Mao, experience of Chiza Besigye and Mugisha Muntu and the rest of the other opposition political parties. They don't want to accept that they have played a role, a significant role, in shaping the opposition of this country to where it is even now, because they have found it stabilized somewhere. But because they are fighting for positions, and their pride is all about now having the leader.
Everyone wants the position.
No. But they don't want to.
Money, everybody wants.
But they don't want to accept.
Even Maseruka here.
Yes,
that's why he wakes up every day.
You see, Edgar. Wanting positions should be not a problem at the time. But why don't you accept that that is what you want? The other time they were saying they won the election. The 2021 election. And we are like, okay, come up with the evidence to show that you won the election. And then if you say, this is the legally elected president, Mr. Kyagulanyi, why then you go ahead and appoint the leader of opposition and the rest in parliament? Because when you appoint the leader
them to
wait,
boycott?
let me drive my point home first. The moment you select or elect or choose a leader of opposition, you have acknowledged that now you are not the legitimate government, but now you are the opposition.
Kato, do I have a choice?
Yes. But now if they had...
I don't have a choice.
So why can't they come out clearly and accept that they want
it's like how
positions in the same government, they choose each and every day. Edgar, before you come in, Sadat, Edgar, I'm saying, if you have all the evidence, as they always claim, kubanga karuwe kagwa bwekati, you saw everybody coming to social media platforms in Gagamba. These are the DRA forms from where they had their percentage, they had calculated. Why couldn't they come up, even after withdrawing their election petition case? Why wouldn't they come up with that evidence and clarify and stick on their point that we are the legally elected government, not the seven government as they call it? Why then do you accept and bow down if it is not the search for political positions in that parliament? In the same government, they abuse every day, they curse every day. You see, it could have been a two-way thing. Because after the elections, you know, parliament cannot be fully constituted when we don't have the opposition and having its leader of opposition in the same parliament. Do you know what that meant? It meant that twali tulina okuddayo mu kalulu in the search for the other people to also join the opposition side so that the parliament can be fully constituted. Do you know what that one could mean? Re-election. And you know that NUP and its leadership would have proven its point that but now you know the cost of that one.
That is futuristic. That's
no.
That is a projection. I cannot agree with your projection.
It is not a projection.
The thing is this.
Look at it.
Besigye has been crying the very same fall. In 2016, election stolen. But he also accepted to have a leader of opposition.
No, in 2011, did not choose the leader of opposition.
Even in 2011, it was the same story.
That was the position of the party. The leader of opposition.
Where is the discernment between the leader, you know our politics. I don't want you to bury your head because now Kato is also burying his head in the sand.
No, I'm not burying it.
That is it.
You know the politics we have.
You cannot
you know politics.
I know.
We have individualized politics.
Exactly. Individualization.
And that NUP is Kyagulanyi, FDC retired Kano. ANT,
and when we talk about the search and need for political position, you should face it and say, okay, we accept this is what we want, and we are comfortable in being the president of the largest opposition political party, and then not hide about.
Okay,
I want to make some clarifications on what Mr. Tumusiime has said.
Yes,
one, nobody supports the political party not knowing that they're going to take positions. Because
that's the main goal.
Nobody
supports
generalization. Because people campaign and vote. So you mean people go and vote you, not knowing that they're going to occupy a particular position?
No, you shouldn't generalize all of us. That's fair to say.
Okay, people that vote vote an individual.
Because they want him to
They know they want people to take positions.
Yes, that's
Nobody has ever lied that political parties.
Then why can't you face the reality and accept that you are in such a
I am coming.
position?
I am coming. And they vote people to occupy positions and to take government. So that one is settled. You cannot now claim that they came and unfortunately they were rigged and they were declared number 2. They should not occupy that space. One,
because they are rigged. That's a very.
Was it in the mission 2021?
Because
now we are also now starting to personalize.
Because the agenda and which ultimately they claim they achieved was to take power. Or to win the election.
Do they have the power?
They claim that the election was rigged. Now, unfortunately, they found themselves in the position number 2. Clearly knowing that if they do not occupy that space, it will be occupied by any other political party, and you know which political party that would have taken that position. That's no doubt. So nobody should accuse NUP of being the leader of opposition.
It's called blackmail.
Yes,
let me make this clear.
You wanted a cake, but you got bread.
Yes.
And you are hungry.
Yes. Let me make this clear.
You better eat bread than being hungry.
Let me make this clear. And my point was clear. Maybe if you got it in a different side. In a different side. My point was clear. And I was like, the problem we have with this, specifically the NUP people, is when we talk about that in this struggle, they wanted positions. And they are saying, no. Wait, Edgar, my issue is one. My issue is one. I'm saying, why can't they face the reality?
Which is reality?
We have the positions and maybe just fight and say, let us use these positions and fight within the government. But they say, no. We never wanted our positions. And why did you take the position? That's my question. Accept the reality, like this Norbert Mao and the rest of the people are talking. That first of all, you wanted positions, you have positions. How better can you use the positions to also reach and achieve your aim?
Why are you emphasizing on the need for positions?
You see, that's the reality. You see what you take it in first.
Mr. Kato Tumusiime.
Yes, sir.
Museveni went to the bush to fight.
Yes.
And his comrades because they wanted positions. Listen, retired Kano has been fighting with his people because they wanted positions.
Yes.
And these people are fighting because they want position. You are fighting because you want positions. I am here because I want positions. We all want positions, my brother.
Do you deny that you don't want a position?
No, it is.
My issue is about denial.
No,
denial.
I want to also state this
clear.
Because you are saying that they are denying that they did not come for positions. The issue, if I understand their argument, the position they are in is not what they came for. If I am to understand what they are trying to talk about, we did not set out on an agenda to be the leader of opposition. We set out to be the leader of government. That one they are justified to say we are not in the position we aspired for.
Yes.
So you accept this first and then you can go on.
No, you cannot force them to accept something that was forced onto them. Their agenda was different.
But
that's living in denial.
Isn't the DP General, President General, boxing these young people into the corner? Is like, okay, we want to also appreciate that NUP is a young political party with young, charismatic, immature leaders. And I'm going to say that. No, I'm telling you.
That's a strong word, but
yes,
immature.
Why I'm saying that is because you realize some of the statements they make. Politics or the politics that we have grown to know was the politics of debate. The politics of NUP, they are new into the game. Which is normal because everybody wabaya katandika. Sometimes there's a bit of myopism, there's a bit of immaturity. But that is a process. The way NRM started is not the way they are today. It comes with experience. So Chengama, aren't we also overpressing these young people? And they
are not being overpressed, but there are certain norms or there are certain things in any democratic society
which is not here.
In a democratic society, which I believe, which I believe we are aspiring to achieve. And no bang it into Ochiagara, which is Antoina Koigisa, Ochiagara. Chetusoko okukkiriza nti NUP ina ba members or supporters abali uncouth, abali unruly, aba speaking all kinds of vulgarities. But the issue is, tekitegeeza nti temulimu abo abalaba ensonga, temulimu abo abalina experience. Ate tulina okukkiriza nti change yonna ne government eriko 36 years before they were immaculate when they
yes, that's what I was
naye tebakibajjukizanga buli ssaawa nti muli immaculate oba muliki baba wa time oba ne baba guidinga wenzikiriziganya ne Norbert Mao that kyavuddeyo okwogerako nti bakyuseemu abawa guidelines naye guidelines gyabawa sometimes agibawadde mu fora etaliki nti nga bwe kiri essaawa eno bw'otandika okugamba ku bantu abali unruly abali misguided abali uncontrolled n'okozesa forum gye bakozesa n'obalumba mu the gutter bajja kusika.
When you roll in the mud, you're also becoming a
yes, nti bw'olaba tweet ze ezasooka zaali simplistic. Naye the more he has engaged them, the more he has degenerated to their level. Naye jjukira ye is a party president. His agenda is for the good of the opposition. Nti teri yani yagadde party inabakulembe ba supporters oba bawagizi oba member abavuma buli mukulembeze we bakaming across. Ate kino Norbert Mao chayogerera tayogerera yeka neba member we news yabamu abaogerera nabo bayisibwa bubi ba member babenyini abali anurule. There is a lot of blackmail, there is a lot of bullying,
exaggerated sense of importance
and sensationalism amongst the issues that are very critical to this nation.
Okay, now it is 20 minutes into the hour of 8, ladies and gentlemen. Mwe kubanga mwe kumide kumukutu ogwa the alternative Digitalk program jemuli ko bagita Mighty Drive go yakatwega tako ndino omwami Maseruka Sadati yava okwogera bigambo ebyo ava mu kibiina kya Alliance for National Transformation. Ekibiina kyetugamba ekibiina kye ideas naye ideas zawe tezabaleta na legislator nomu. I also have Mr. Kato Tumusiime, who is a political analyst and a lawyer as well. Atunyonyolamu kiki ekigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga. That is the unity gitwali tusuubira okubanga ejja, but there is no unity at all. Mr. Tumusiime, I want you to also talk about the quality of debate. Njagala osokonyonyole politics waffe is degenerating. Exactly. Degenerating. I'm telling you, we had legislators like the Maos, the Romushanas, those cream de la cream, the Kanyehambas, the Matembes. They were people who did not believe in the national resistance movement or their government or some of their policies. They ended up breaking up with them. But they always had that decorum of what? Of being an elite, of politics.
Disagreeing with the rest.
But we have a politics today where you bring an idea, someone counter-reacts your idea with an abuse.
Exactly.
With a demeanor of your persona. Politics were fayika. Kato, what's your comment on that?
To start with Edgar, I feel most of these people in opposition at the time have their unknown and maybe I should say untamed and uncontrolled anger against the regime itself. And that's
which is justifiable.
No, it can't be justifiable.
They killed 50 of their supporters in broad daylight. Even up to now, no report. Nobody has been convicted.
Edgar,
to some extent,
nobody is saying they did not kill them. No, I'm not saying they did not kill them. But look at the 2001 elections.
Yeah, many also went down.
2006, 2011, 2011, 2016. We have lost so many lives. But at the time, even where you cannot control your anger at a time, it will cause you a lot of problems. We should accept this one.
Okay.
There are so many ways of disagreeing with the regime. So many. And in a polite manner, whether you want to disagree with the policy, whether an action taken by the government, there are so many ways of disagreeing in a polite manner without abusing. Now, what do you benefit when you abuse a person of the president as Museveni? And unfortunately, these people use some forums that cannot be accessed by these people they try to abuse. In a sense, at the end of it all, their message cannot reach the person they are trying to get. And the problem we always face is we have these sympathizers, Majega Kutaka, who are always there waiting for you to comment and talk the reality. For example, when somebody comes and asks about an idea or something that is happening in a political party, you will always find those abusing people and you ask them, okay, this is my take on this, A, B, C, D, and D. What's your take? Why can't you, counteract and maybe respond to a comment with what you also believe in, because we live in a society that has a balanced audience where I have the right to give my opinion and my view about something. Use the same opinion to counteract my opinion and bring in your opinion, what you believe in as a person. That's the problem we have. And maybe we should also take this to our society setups and families.
Yeah.
You would agree with me that charity begins at home. And where you find a small boy, 5, 10, 12 years, abusing the father, what do you expect now that they have this freedom? They are now honorable in courts. Some don't deserve even that title as honorables. But what do you expect when they feel this strong driving these big vehicles? They feel they are strong.
One would say social media, I think Norbert Mao is just being also what they say Owentondo. Social media they are catfish apps like accounts.
Fine.
There is one Kato Tumusiime seated in his Kazigo, and he has like 10 accounts, and he's using the data to abuse you.
Fine. Now,
but do you know that some people also use their same accounts, original accounts? And they are also.
You have brought the issue of social media.
Because social media feels catfish.
But now, before we reach the issue of social media, before we reach the issue of social media, look at them when they are trying to address, because most of them actually don't go on in parliament, don't go in parliament, on the floor of parliament to raise their issues, but they wait for their camera people, you guys, the journalists, and they want you to ask them at the exit while they are getting out of the parliament, and that's when they can fully try to abuse and maybe say this and this and this. When they have the full 2 hours in the floor of parliament where they can raise all these issues and the nation can take attention of them and maybe record and maybe respond.
Yes, please.
That's the problem we have.
Mr. Maseruka,
I was talking about there is no justification whether it is a catfish, whether it is
provided one individual seated there with his commando, he has 15 accounts,
and I agree,
and he's just
but also we should also understand this, that he's not attacking those that are responding to him. His attacks go to the leadership of the NUP. Why? When you look at the responses from the spokespersons of the NUP, the official spokespersons of the NUP, you find that they are demeaning of the person of Norbert Mao.
Of a person, not even a political party, not the idea.
They are not even picking the point that he's making. It takes me back because you talked about the ANT, and I'm here as a youth leader of ANT. We emphasized so much. Not that we cannot create catfish accounts. Not that we cannot also speak the words they are speaking. But realize that if you are to pass on the message for people to buy into what you are talking about, abantu okukiriziganya nawe n'okutegeera ki kyogezaako passing across, olina okuba approaching in a calm manner. You cannot toyinza kuveeri. No, buli muntu w'omuvuma ablocking mind ye naye n'aleeta insults. Ate kiba waasi nnyo nga ffe abakulembeze ate twenyigidde mu social media battles ne tutandika okudimininga abakulembeze abalala. Tuba tusetinga example wansi eri nti mugende maaso museeseemu mukole eki. Toyinza kuva eri ng'oli spokesperson wa political party n'olaba statement Norbert Mao questions z'abuuza. No gamba that in the recent 1 or 2 weeks, Norbert Mao has made more tweets than the number of votes he got.
Look at such really,
yes, because the catfish accounts and the very many social media followers you have will applaud you. But have you not demeaned the other person? Are you really trying to understand his point? Or are you trying to show that chayogera kituufu atongere ddala okuvuma
oli muvumi
kakati ekyo kyetugezaako nnyo okuprotectinga image ya political party gye tuvaamu n'abakulembeze betulina nti Uganda nsi ya values tukuze because you see toyinza kuŋŋamba nti waliyo omuzadde ensonga lwaki baba ne catfish accounts nti a responsible individual tayagala kozesa mannyage ayagala averyawe mule kakozesa catfish account because naye kyamanyi kyakola kikyama omuntu yenna bw'abanga akozesa yes
wakitegeeza nti kyabikanga ffe I want to bring it back to us the people because these legislators do the things that we want and it feels like NUP leader way wayogera something like that, what you mentioned. Supporter wa jagamba yo wange uyayogera bulungi
olwensonga katino kankubuuza
isn't it on us?
It is not on us. No, I cannot.
Because
it's not on us.
When a spokesperson makes that means he wants.
It is not on us. It is not on us. It's not on us. There are two things. There's what we call populism and also providing leadership. Bw'olabanga abantu b'okulembera bawaba onokuvaayo nobagairinga nobasa mukube tuufu naye ate togubuuza nti omuyaga gulagawa bwe babanga abantu bawaba badigeneratinga okubanga babera abusive gwe vaayo n'eddoboozi liri calm eri understandinga eri bateeka mu layini era bajja kufollowinga. Obuzibu bwe tulina tewali n'omu azaala mwana we n'amutendeka nti genda ovuma abantu. Lwaki tutuuka ku level nti abavubuka abaliwo essaawa eno tebawuliriza bali abusive and aggressive lwansonga nti tukitude it is the new normal nti wembanga ndi very abusive on social media I will get very many followers.
By the way,
wembanga nga wembanga nga nina I am talking of all obscenities and nudities nja kufuna following ey'amaanyi kati abakulembeze ne babayinga mweyo falasi nti naffe katukosa opportunity tufune support. That is the reason as to why era bagamba ekikula amangu kikola ki
kigwa mangu
abala tebalina
obudde butuwedde for that commodities because kati bino politics buli bano wali politics wawe twagatuingire kokko mu bigenda maaso mu ggwanga naddala ebbeeyi y'ebintu eyeekanamye naye nga tetunayingira akawo kansome ku message z'abantu abali mu kutula banaye mwebali Nachaine Rita ndaba kwoli JJ Jacob ndaba kwoli Nabukera kwali ni wano Norman kwali abantu bangi abali wana Mugisha Jimmy Rwanda kwali agamba live from the lecture tent at Kampala University. Good morning, Matthew. Good morning to you, sir. Onagambe, Uganda shouldn't expect much from projects like the parish development model. It has always been a trend. Such projects come up as avenues for NRM guys to steal the money. Kansomeko Nachaine Rita agamba, no one is blackmailing NUP, but their statements will live to haunt them. My lord, I wonder. Onagambie general left FTC in search of a position you would claim. Onagambie Nabukere Agambie, it's the immature leaders for me. So true. NUP leaders are immature. Onagambie and Mao's argument is dishonesty from NUP. They at one time claimed to register the party in a rubber-dub style, well knowing that the party was registered go through the help of the state. Norbert Mao yachogerako mbuno political party dabika NRM yali girimu nnyo bulungi nnyo bali mutuudisa ekyo kyose kikirize kya rubber-dub style teyachogerera kweno party registration rubber-dub style yakana tugenda yingira tukosa rubber-dub style rubber-dub style njagibwa wakolo mu history yayo ono bamuyita Rita Agambe. Why do you blame Mao for forgetting how they have attacked him and blackmailed him? He is a human. When do leaders speak out their anger and or express their dissatisfaction? Thank you so much. Ono Mr. Jacob Agambe. Whenever the army meets me, open quotes, whenever the army meets me with the red cape on, I am driven home and others arrested, close quotes. Like I always said by Kyagulanyi, that statement has got a lot of hidden selfishness Ugandans do not see. Ndoza tusoke message tusukomye koka ondaba wanaga Kyagulanyi has the numbers, but I believe he has a selfish character. In the first place, NUP was a pressure group and actually everyone thought it would keep that way. That's what you wanted it to be. that is what they wanted. They wanted it to stay like that, a track that is loose. That did not have any a selfish move. Manyiba na Uganda buli omu olemwa. Ngenda tandika nawe Mr. Kato Tumusiime ja tutandika okwogera ku the increasing price of commodities in our country. Right now, as I was telling you on the break, amazzi gafuse ga lusanvu agali ag'e bitano. Sabuni omuti gwa kasanvu. Oil is up there. Everything is going up. And many people are saying, look, there is a war going on. International markets, amafuta geyongedde. Everybody is saying, it is normal. The thing is, is it the fact that the international market has affected us, or we already had our own problems prior to the international market destabilizing? Mr. Kato.
Oh, thank you so much, Edgar. You see, the problem we have as a country is one. The moment we are faced with the challenge, we want to also put it on the international level and maybe associate it with the problems affecting other different countries. That's the problem we have as a country, number one. Then secondly, the challenge we have as a nation is we have a free market economy.
Buli omu yesetingira sente ze.
Yesalirawo.
Nze Edgar wentandika otunda penny nze yange nja gitunda lukumi.
Yange ya lusambu.
Maseruka ye ya
lusambu. That's the problem we have. And a country that has a number of economists, that would be guiding this economy, how it should be run, are just there, enjoying their economy, and because they are somehow well off, they are not bothered by the 100, 200 Ugandan shillings that are increasing on a commodity each and every day, because that's how it starts. Recently, when fuel prices were hiked so high, you saw even the Prime Minister coming up and saying, and you look at the reasoning of the Premier, the head of government business, sometimes you go back home and wonder and be like, okay, is this the nation we are living in, and is this the Premier we shall have for the next 5 years? And you can't take it on in and maybe be like, we need the mercy and the grace of God. The Prime Minister, with all due respect, she came up clear and said, at least, because many Ugandans
even internationally the barrel is at 105.
No, she said that because many Ugandans were moving unnecessarily.
That was the justification.
Yeah, that's at least so that when you want to move, you should have a reason as to why you move. And the Prime Minister forgets that even where we have people who move unreasonably in her own understanding and thinking, we have so many people who are also benefiting from the unreasonable moving of people from place to place. Because we have these taxi owners and drivers. We have border. If you are moving unreasonably, you will pay a border guy, and that's the economy. And the 1,000, 2,000, these border guys earn on a daily basis. They don't benefit them as individuals. You know, there is a whole chain of people benefiting from it. Look at their parents, look at the people in the village, look at...
One border is feeding like 15
or 20 people. And now, this is what the Prime Minister calls unreasonable movements. And then the other problem we have this issue of hoarding. Because if...
But you people, you've been talking about hoarding for the last 4 months. There's fuel that is being hoarded, there is hoarding going on. Where are the people? Where are the people who are hoarding?
That's what I'm...
Is there a crime in hoarding?
Yes, hoarding is a crime.
It is a crime, by the way.
Hoarding is a crime.
And what I'm trying to say is, Edgar,
it is a crime.
Edgar, the prices of fuel, actually were hiked in about 1 or 2 months.
Actually, before the international market.
Exactly, before the international market. And surprisingly, when the prices of fuel went high, immediately the prices of different commodities were also hiked. And that's the problem we have. And the reason everybody will give you is, I'm after Gambei Kati.
Okay. Now, what is hoarding? What is hoarding?
Kukweka ebyamaguzi nga tutubyetaaga nga goyagala bituwera mu budde
because you're the only person wakwata sente ze n'agenda ku factory ya sabuni inaye n'amugulayo n'amutereka ewe mu store. You know?
Ate bakoze.
N'amutereka ewe mu store.
Ensonga eno ogimanyiimu nnyo.
I'm speaking as an economist. N'amutereka ewe mu store. N'amulekayo. So you, how do you call him? How can you call that illegal? Because at the time, wojja kuga nti gundi sabuni yabuze and ina sabuni. It is a free market economy. You have to sell expensively what you have, provided the demand is there.
But you see, as
and as a nation, that's where we went wrong. Opening up the economy fully.
What do you mean opening up the economy?
Because even in some situations, waliyo ebintu government byetajja mu mukono. ebintu betajja mu mukono nga education ebintu nga betajja mu mukono nga tesobola fule kubeera kuleka this operation of some basic commodities, fuel, and evera partially open, food, enokubanga inamu intervention, obanga inamu factories ezazo. Kati now, tuli ku fuel prices, zigenda nezikula, nezirinya nga tusirisa as a nation. Nemugamba nti people are holding, but these are people that read the market trends. Ne basoma nti kati Russia Iran na Ukraine amafuta kagenda kulinya na kwata sente ze nali aloni ye nagagula nagatereka mu tanka because Uganda tayina tanka zayo kati ye nakolo Uganda kiyandikoze because Uganda webanga for instance Kenya genda mu lutalo tugenda mu kalu Kenya Uganda kyesoko okuloza ako bikibe tujje Kenya as a country bikibe tujje Kenya ne bistowalinga for some time for any eventuality kati mweche muita holding but the government has the monopoly to hold as well. This is what I'm saying, that you are accusing me as a private businessman of reading the economic trends and I buy and I buy commodities and you accuse me of holding that I am selling them expensively yet I invested them in
but these services are from
because it is not your money. The government, if it was government money, you could have held me accountable. Now it is my money. I have realized that if prices increase for fuel, I will earn 100,000 shillings more. Njaga kwata manyenti wachiri mungereka chikumwatano. Kakati jukira nti amafuta gano gaina impact mu value chain. Agula, atunda na producing. Bona baba affected. Kakati eyo sector ojirese to the private businessmen, they are driven by profits. We ovayo gamati as a country twagala in fact obajjako n'omusolo mungi. They will pay your taxes at the end of the day they will look for means of recouping their money.
So you're trying to say that the government was wrong to first of all liberalize the economy?
But totally liberalized everything. Yes. Waliyo ebintu byosigaza. For instance, kakati education, it will reach a level nga whereas government aided schools are there or government schools are there, nobody will allow their school to charge less than 1 million. Togenda kumugamba, you did not provide a brick, you don't provide land, you don't provide anything to their school and tell them that you should
and
provide
you take too much taxes.
The only solution is you government, you should construct your own schools, put them at the better standards than the private schools. Government should start dealing in these businesses that affect the economy grossly.
But you see now, the issue I was trying to make is, however much we have liberalized the economy, but the government should not lose it all. It should have a control somewhere.
Yes, because they do have a control sometimes. Don't they have a control?
On a daily basis, and they are to the, the well-being of the community and the people at large. Then, when you talk about the issue of these so-called businessmen, you first look at them, because I'm sure you have been in Uganda and you know these same people who are involved in the same businesses. First of all, most of them are the people who are connected maybe to government officials, to the state and the big wigs. And these are the people who come actually and decide for the government. They have made a lot of money that they influence even which policies should run this country. That one we should be clear. And we should not hide and maybe talk about things as if we are just new in Uganda and as if we are just deciding to plan for the nation. So the problem we have is the state itself, the state-run machinery and the people who are connected, the members in the government that run each and every business. And the same people who are involved in the same holding and they control the economy almost the whole of it. And that's why we have gone wrong as a country. And we have these MPs, we have these ministers who are just there comfortably sitting and waiting for their money, their salary to hit their accounts at the end of the month.
One would say, what should they do? Bana edachika zino ndaba ziriana mu bilize zakaita kusawa ebilize okumacha zizino zingirana mu 3. Twine edachika ntono nnyo 5 ku 7 tubenga tumaliza show ya fe ndaba wano nache ine litagambye Prime Minister wamwe muvubi tamanyi lyanfuna ekyo kyo Najaini is a very sarcastic gentle lady.
Listen to the president was clear and says
Mr.
the fisherman government.
Hey, it's okay, muvubi. Sadat, does our country really plan for its people? You are people of ideas as the ANT. Mundaba yamwe. Government yaffe tula wansi negamba I am planning for the child of Maseruka himself, Maseruka his family. Like I am planning to develop my country by developing my people. I'm going to give you an example. In civilized states, okay, I cannot compare myself to USA, but I'm saying USA has more public schools than private schools, and the public schools are better. In fact, contrary to here, that for them they first opt for the public school. When it fails, they go to the private school. Now here it's the contrary. Here you first go for the private. Like it feels like there is no intention at helping Ugandans. Tulinga Balia, we are surviving. We're just living. We're not.
Yes, it is so. The government. The reason as why we established an alternative, we realized a long time ago that they are about regime survival. But there is a term in economics, opportunity cost. What is the alternative for Wagon? In this situation, when you look at the priorities of this government, are mostly geared towards their survival. How much
how do we keep power? How do we keep
power? How much do we allocate to strengthening our security? Not as a nation, but as a clique that is in power. In this, I'm not saying as a nation. Why I'm not saying as a nation? Because I'm saying it is geared towards buying more gear, more batons, and more tear gas for whoever will come out to protest. And now in this situation, they are using guns to shoot. So you will find that the budget for security, or the budget to run the police, and the budget for internal security and spying and for the likes, for any person that would like to take the way they are bred, is available and is in plenty. But when you go to things that are of a priority to the survival of this nation,
okay.
We are going to build schools, but what they will do, they will look for a smaller or a symbiosis to do what we call facelifting. They will bring now the myoga. They will tell you now, if you don't just have a myoga, you are done. Money is there.
So you have the free money.
Then they will tell you now we are on the parish model. Whoever is disagreeing with the parish model, you don't know what you are talking about. But in any event, who are the beneficiaries of the parish model? And how has it been organized to reach actually the final individual that actually needs this money? Zigena kumaliza nti abakulembeze ku sub county nayo bafunye omunyago gwa budget. Na bagenda okola ki okugabanako. Ogenda okwesanga nga ba technocrats ku sub county jukira. Yagena n'atekawo system.
We have technocrats on every level.
Yes, there is, yes. Yatekawo system nti technocrat are running a sub county or district are so educated than the councillor or than the district chairperson.
Exactly.
Therefore, district chairperson ayinza n'okuba tamanyi kintu kigenda kubeera kitya naye awulira kikoleze eki kyazze. Kati in this situation, bo basirise, they are going to gross corruption. Kati ogenda okumalizanga n'omukulembeze gw'osindiseeyo
talina
kyakuyambye ate nga talina kyakuyambye nti tayagala kuyamba naye nga tamanyi kigenda maaso nti abantu abapushinga ebintu bino bali ku survive for the regime. Era ogenda okulaba nga abantu abagenda okufunamu bebagenda okulambula they are the regime cronies, okulaga nti system ekola nti era sente zaatuuka ku kyalo ne bajja kunoonyaayo supporter wa NRM mu kitundu ekyo bamuwe
gokulembera wano.
Yes, but ugambe nti kati tukola accountability bagende wa supporter waabwe oyo abeere modo eri sub county number oba abeere modo eri parish number. So ebintu ebimu babivaako dda babala how long are
Maseruka tukolechi, what are the solutions you are giving?
The solution is look at leaders that have the integrity, that have the ideas to advance this nation. Beyond that, sensationalism will take you that far.
But who are those leaders? Because they are not also able to. The opposition we are not
critical in following politics of this country. The Alliance for National Transformation brought an alternative. In politics in the politics, because if you look at the current political parties, we have been discussing an impasse between a party leader and supporters of a different political party. You cannot find that in ANT. Two, botunulira ideas to frontinga nebye tuogerako tulaga these things are possible if we are given the mandate. But unfortunately, abantu abamu baagala tubyogereko sarcastically, but politics is too busy business to just be talked about casually. Tulina okwogera ebintu nga tubikakasa. Yes, nga tubiteeka mu kusaagirira kubanga byaffectinga maama azaala, omwana asoma, n'omuntu anoonya omulimu. Tetusobola just kugamba nti ago tulina kyotugamba. Listen, understand, and bring ideas that advance this nation.
Mr. Tumusiime, what should we do as a country?
I think maybe before I go on what we should do, I should start with this point that most of these programs come in as incentives by the government to its diehards and supporters. As he said, we have no doubt about that. And that's the reality. Ojja kulaba nti ono omuntu abadde stronghold maybe in my district in Tungamo, and they have lost an election. How best can they bring them on board? Now they create such a program, and they are brought now to be the regional coordinator. Because they have those enticing names. They will say now he's the regional coordinator of the Emyoga program in Western Uganda as an incentive so that they cannot be buried and they can also keep on earning something. But when you look at the reality of what this program would aim at, the idea is always good. If you look at its paperwork, how it will develop a parish, a family parish, then to sub-county and the district and Uganda as well, it's a good idea. But wait for its realities, because this is not the first one to come in press. We have had so many. And the problem, as I told you in the beginning, is we almost have the same leadership. The person who was heading Youth Livelihood Program in Yoga, the same person who was heading...
the person who has been leading the country is the same.
Yes, he's the same person who was heading a Tandikwa and all those fields, and now they are bringing in this new. So they keep on modifying. Now what we should do as a country is what? First of all, I need to hold accountable our leaders first. From your LC1 chairman, hold them accountable, engage them. And as political parties, they should actually get involved in, sensitizing, educating, preparing and planning for their leaders. Maybe some of them who have lost focus, they should be brought on track. Through these programs, like, for example, most of the political parties always do them, and I don't know why we get different results after all. Because when these people are elected in parliament, mostly I will talk on the parliamentary level, they always called for these trainings. And they are taken through those processes, orientation, how these things should be done. I think that should be encouraged them more. And even us as the public, we should get involved and find out. Be the beneficiary.
That is one thing I always tell people: curiosity. Why aren't Ugandans curious? Be curious. Banna, be curious. Be
Venture in every opportunity that is available.
Be curious. How much money was invested in this road? Just be curious. The moment we're not curious, we're going to continue like this with the trend. Mr. Maseruka, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Just give me your parting shots.
Yes, my parting shot is that Ugandans should be very curious and worried of the leadership they choose. That it may be a short period of 3 months to campaign, but the end results, the problems, the challenges are going to face up for 5 years. It is better you make a critical analysis of all the people that are seeking to serve you or to represent you. It is not all about people being fanatical, sensational, making you happy, but it's about also what they want to do for this nation or what they want to do for you as a community. In this regard, we are facing a problem whereby we front leaders at all levels in different with different capabilities. But these leaders, as A&T, are facing a challenge whereby people tell them that what you're telling us is not enticing. But in this case, we are talking about politics that determines your welfare, that determines your employment, your agriculture, your taxes you pay, the health, kind of health you have, and the education of your children. It cannot be funny business. It cannot be a thing of a joking subject. These are realities in life and they matter. So I encourage you and also inform you that please let us be curious, let us be very critical with the people that we are choosing to serve us.
Thank you so much. Mr. Tumusiime, your parting shots.
My parting shots will be to encourage Ugandans to always get involved in the activities and the projects of the government, first of all. Let them be involved in one way or the other. Everybody should put in his or efforts to see that as the government is, trying to do a BCD, get involved and maybe be a beneficiary. Then secondly, I would call upon every Ugandan to know their duties, first of all. Know their duties as Ugandans, know their rights, and as you try to enjoy your rights and maybe your freedoms, also know that there are limitations to the same.
Okay.
They are not just entirely for you alone. As you benefit and enjoy them, know that the other person also wants to enjoy and benefit from the same. And then take care, be serious, know that COVID is still available and it's still killing people. Go for vaccinations and be a good citizen of the nation. For God and my country.
Okay, for God and your country. Thank you so much, Mr. Maseruka. Thank you so much, Kato Tumusiime, and a special thank you, most especially to the viewers of this particular edition of the Mighty Drive. Thank you so much for watching. From 7 a.m. up to 9 a.m. You've been very, very pleasant, audience. Thank you so much for the messages you've sent in. Thank you. Some of them I've not read them, but it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you, Mr. Jacob, who's the gentleman on camera, and Teddy Tenjo Nabukaya, who's my producer, Arnold Mukose Anthony, the program's director, and Mr. Rogers Turiahabwe. Thank you so much. And don't forget, in case you want any of those books I mentioned earlier, by Norbert Mao, feel free to just call Arnold, or you can call Mr. Rogers Turiahabwe, who is the gentleman who's distributing those books, and you'll get them at only 50,000 shillings. The author, Norbert Mao, is a renowned activist, national coordinator of the Alliance, the Alternative Social Movement, and the executive director of the Alternative Digitalk. So feel free to just get those books and get an in-depth or an insight on some of the wisdom that this gentleman professes in his books. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time, same station. My name is Matthew. Why don't you enjoy your morning?
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.